So here we are. We are at what I can tell from voting on social media, I am on the best lake in eastern Kansas for just catching some decent fish. So we'll see. It's amazing after growing up here as a kid how much our lakes have aged and changed, and now they have zebra mussels in a lot of them, and smallmouth are the predominant fish here now, which is surprising. But I want to come somewhere where I can fish shallow, do some old school largemouth fishing, and from what I can tell, this is the best place to be. So it's May. I'm sure the fish are in every phase of the spawn or shad spawn, and we've got some good watercolor in here, I think, because of the rain. So let's see what this place has to offer. I know just it's hard to believe, but I've got a couple bladed jigs on, got a creature bait and a wacky worm tied on, so we're just going to put the trolling motor down and kind of see what this place is about. Well, my first bass, probably 15.5 incher, probably close to 2 pounds. Bladed jig on a point. That's the thing to remember. If all else fails, fish a point. There's wind blowing on here. It's it's hard to really slow down, but you get up here with a bladed jig, a spinnerbait, or something like this, and cover water, you're going to find the active fish. So something to build on. Number 2 on a wacky worm. We've come down to the lower end of the lake though and got out of the wind, and I noticed there's a lot of good looking vegetation in here, coontail or something. So maybe this is why this place has been the secret, because we don't get much submergent vegetation in our lakes. I noticed it's got water willows in it, which are good, but they're just not up yet. They're just kind of just now starting to green up, which is kind of typical. But I did see a nice, I don't know, 2-pounder, 2-pound male on a bed that I probably could have caught, but I wasn't going to just sit there and try to catch a 2-pounder off the bed just to harass him. wacky worm. First nice fish of the day. One close to 3 pounds. Yeah, I kind of felt like the fish are spawning. I saw one on a bed and it's kind of acting why the fish are so weird, and I just kind of tucked in between these two docks, and literally just right against the bank I just saw just a part of a tail move, and then I realized there was a fish there on a bed. Skipped my little wacky worm over there, and he swam over there and he ate it immediately. So well, I'm not setting the world on fire. It's just kind of typical May fishing. You know, you might have some good early shad spawn fishing, but you know, when these fish are on the beds, the whole key is you got to get it in that strike zone, that part of the bed where the fish is at, and where they want to protect it. So they're not much into feeding, but hey, one more clue closer to figuring it out. Underneath the walkway. Gosh darn it. Ugh. Finally get a good bite and he jumps off. Better one. Not a bad one. Not as big as the one I lost, but just kept hunting around and over here on a windy bank and just covering water with the old bladed jig. I'm sure this lake's got some big ones in it. It's just we're at that weird time of the year where it's, I guess, what we call the post-spawn funk. You got the males on beds, but I haven't seen any fry yet, so not really garden fry, so can't complain.
fish are just right on the bank. I'm sure that, like I said, I think they're right in the middle of the spawn. There's good watercolor, and it's just, I'm sure there are bigger fish in here. It's just we're at a weird time, and you know, if I had it to do over again or under different conditions, probably get out here and fish some of this milfoil that's under the water with a plopper or buzz bait or something like that. Might be a way to catch a big one, but keep at it. Well, there it is. We just wrapped up a day on Lone Star Lake. I can say I've fished every bit of shoreline that you can fish in here legally without getting into the swimming area. So it's May. Fishing was decent. Fish are clearly on beds. I saw several on beds, caught a decent one off of a bed. So I think we're just in that weird time frame when probably the big ones are hard to get to bite anyway. Probably if I slowed down and flipped some and everything, but caught some decent ones on a bladed jig and a few on a wacky worm. And I'll tell you, the thing that's encouraging about this place is the milfoil. You know, we don't get a lot of lakes with vegetation in them like that. It's got some good water willows along the shore, but they're still covered in slime. So I'd love to come back here in about 1st of June, because I bet it could be some phenomenal topwater fishing then. So we'll try it next time.